technically a rest day, but I might go for a ride around the island because I've heard it's a lovely ride. So I'm just going for a wander around. It's early by Malaysian standards. Saw the central fire station, which is quite a grand establishment. Firemen are out doing their morning drill, but we're heading off in this direction to find some breakfast. Roti bakar. I can see why the tourists love Georgetown. It's certainly got charm. It's got some lovely old buildings like this Georgetown dispensary from 1923. I saw a lovely old Art Deco building, which I might go back and get a shot of. And then this sort of street art everywhere. It's full of food. They say the best food in Malaysia. And if it's the best food in Malaysia, I'd say it's one of the best cuisines in the world. We're not going in here, but just passing this food court, so I thought I'd come and have a look. See what's on offer. Goreng pisang, banana, nasi breakfast. Yeah, I think it isn't quite fully up and running yet, but nice little spot. Chicken rice, vegetarian meals, interesting. Oh well, maybe we'll come back here for lunch. And then there's Ali nasi lemak daun pisang. So nasi lemak, very famous dish from Penang, from Georgetown. Lemak means fat, I believe, and it's nasi, rice cooked in coconut milk. And then you can choose whether you have ikan, fish, sotong, udang. So you can choose, and it's all wrapped up in these lovely banana leaves. 3 ringgit. That's just over 50 pence. I will be back for breakfast tomorrow. The roti bakar was slightly less interesting than I'd hoped it would be. It was basically a sort of very British buttered toast and boiled eggs. The buttered toast was alright. The boiled eggs were very softly boiled, so I sent those back. I'm not a big fan of boiled eggs anyway, so I feel a second breakfast is in order. We're back at the nasi lemak. Bit of a queue now. Got to decide what we have. Every Malaysian city has a little India. Where the Chinese are, it's called Chinatown. Where the Indians are, India Town doesn't scan quite so well, so they get called Little India. And you can bet your bottom dollar that you're going to eat well in Little India. Last night I went to a Michelin recommended, I tend to avoid such things, samosa maker. Man, they were the best samosas I have ever had. And everywhere you go, there are cats. Cats. And more cats. All nicely wrapped up in a banana leaf. Try and unwrap with one hand without making a mess. Yeah, there you go. So a very simple breakfast. The fat rice, the coconut rice. I went for the prawn option. I've been told they're very spicy. I like spicy, but we'll see what they mean by very spicy. Okay, boys and girls, enjoy your trekking. Hasta luego. These guys I met in Kuala Lumpur days ago, and we've been following each other ever since. Them by bus and train, me by bike. Anyway, we've done too much eating, so I feel we need to go and do some cycling. So we're going to head out of Georgetown and do a circuit of Penang Island. we're out of the city and following the North Coast road. Then we're going to head south over the mountains, hills, to the south coast, right along there, and then back up the east coast. Just a clarification of terms. What most people refer to as Penang, although I have heard it pronounced Penang as well. I'm going to check that. But what most people mean is Georgetown, the city. Georgetown is the capital of Penang Island, Penang State. But even when I checked on Hostel World, that austere accommodation booking site, they had no listing for Georgetown, but they had a million listings for Penang. First of the climbs, shortest of the climbs, and I think what we're ascending is basically a reservoir wall. I expect we'll see a big lake at the top. There it is. Big old reservoir. Seen a fair number of cyclists out this morning. Me, I'm kind of feeling the effects of 180 kilometers yesterday, I have to say. But I've checked in for one more night, so tomorrow will be a genuine rest day, no cycling, because then we've got a good 3 days to get back, depending on flood conditions. I can imagine the cyclists I saw earlier, they were probably just riding up to the top of the climb and then back again, because to be honest, the kind of the south coast and now up the east is kind of green, but it's kind of trafficy as well, so not so interesting. But yeah, it's nice to have done a loop of the islands. Special motorbike lane. Doesn't say anything about bicycles, so I shall take full advantage of it. Back into Georgetown. Finding my way to a restaurant, which I'm hoping I'll get there before lunch. We will see. Georgetown. Can't leave my bike here. Alright. Here we go, here's the menu. Georgetown. So, Georgetown. Not sure on the pronunciation, but I think that's close. So it's a noodly soupy thing. I've got a couple of dumplings in it as well, some sort of meatballs. As ever, the broth is where it's at. Let's try it. Very good. And iced coffee. Woke up this morning, day 3 in Georgetown, Penang. Thought I could hear sirens. And then when I came out into the street, that's where I'm staying, the Frame. And that's 2-3 doors down. I think they've got it under control now. Yeah, we couldn't be a lot closer to the fire station. There's the fire. There's the fire station, so they only had to scramble 100 meters. The 3 classic Indian breakfasts. Idli, roti, dosa, vada as well, also very good. Puri, this puri. Puri, I think. That's good. Okay, tomorrow I'm having puri. How do you know it's a good Indian restaurant? Because it's full of Indians and no cutlery. Back out into Little India. Yeah, full of Indians, no cutlery, no napkins, hardcore. Eat with your hands and then wash your hands afterwards and before, always very important. I learned that one in India. So, it's a nice morning. Hopefully the fire's out. This is the best samosas in the world. Look at those. And onion bhajis. I'll be back later. And then those are the ones I had the other night. Oh man, so flaky and spicy and everything. It's prayer time. It's cycling time. I have been eating way too much, as is the theme here. So I feel I need to go out and do a little bit of suffering. I hear talk of a very steep climb. I'm going to go and investigate, but I don't know if it's paved or not, or rideable on this bike. Anyway, we'll go and have a look and have a little mosey about, see what we can see. Lot of traffic on this island. It's not the little idyllic tropical island you might have thought. It is busy. A lot of cars, a lot of big roads, some small roads, and that's what we're headed for. Jalan Besi. Attempt number 2, Penang Hills. As you can see, it's a very different story this morning, and it's earlier. I did leave a bit late yesterday. Got caught up in some severe rainstorms, so I got up this morning, blue skies. I thought, right, let's just go for it. So much prettier with a bit of sunlight coming through the trees. And it's much better for traffic at this hour as well. When I left yesterday, it was sort of full on lunchtime. I suspect if I'd left an hour earlier, it would have been full on morning rush hour. So 9 a.m. seems to be a sweet spot for cycling. Didn't have any brekkie though. Masjid Negeri. And before we start climbing, we can see a bit of this magnificent Buddhist temple, Keklok Si temple. Leaving the Keklok Si car park straight into the first climb, and if my eyes don't deceive me, 3 kilometers, 547 meters of climbing. That is steep. We're following the boundary wall of Keklok Si up. It is very steep and goes up to Air Itam Dam, and I'm hoping we get some good views from up there. But first, we got to get there. Ooh, steepening. More monkey business. Well, we're up to the dam. I'll get a clearer view of it when it comes into sight, but there's this lovely road. It's going around the dam, nicely paved, car park at the top, so people are up here hiking, taking in the fresh air. Lovely spot. But before we go all the way around the lake, reservoir, we're going to take this little side road, which is apparently another nasty little climb. Just what I came here for. A little bit of downhill, nice views opening up, and then we've got a final push up to a summit where I really hope there's a nice viewpoint. If not, there was that superb viewpoint on the way up from on the first climb. Oh, here we go. Well, we're at the top. Seems to be some sort of temple, and it definitely looks like there's quite a view. Oh my. There seems to be a gang of cyclists up here. Is there a shop or something? Maybe we can get a drink. Morning. Met a group of very kind and generous cyclists up here who've invited me to join in their breakfast. So it's a good thing I didn't have breakfast. Iced coffee, rice, noodles.
Welcome to
What
Penang.
more? Welcome to Penang. Very warm welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you for breakfast. Very nice to meet you.
Have a good day in Penang.
Okay.
See you again.
See you again. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Classic Malay hospitality. They'd never met me before. As soon as I arrived, come in, have breakfast, have coffee, have noodles, have this, have that. Fantastic. Okay, down and then back up again. It's going to jump. I just missed one on camera. He jumped and fluffed it and crashed. This one's a bit younger, I think. These are not macaques. They're some sort of lemur, I guess. This young one might be a bit scared because I'm here, so I'm going to move. And maybe he'll jump. Because the rest of the troop have headed off. Don't get left behind, little one. Wow. You can see his face there. Like he had white makeup on. Lovely. This view of Georgetown is got to be one of the best around. One of the best views over a city I've seen. You can see the temple on the right and then right down into the heart of Georgetown and then across the straits to the other part of Penang. So I've done my research. Penang, P-E-N-A-N-G, is what the foreigners say. The locals don't say Penang, they say Penang. And it's actually Pulau Penang, which means Penang Island. But I did hear, and this is from speaking to a couple of locals in a bar last night, I did hear that although people will refer to Georgetown, if they're from Georgetown, on the island they'll refer to it as coming to be living in Georgetown. But if they're abroad or in other parts of the country, they will just say they're from Penang. So anyway, that clears that up. And there it is, Georgetown, 2 words, not Georgetown. Named after King George, of course. And it was the first base of the British in Southeast Asia. Let's see Kuan Yin. Wow, that is a Kuan Yin. Looks to be cast from bronze, but if so, that's a massive casting. Oh, this is a memorable one. This has got to be up there with one of the steepest, toughest short climbs I've ever done. And it's not that short, it's over 2k. Foolishly changed gear there, but No, back up we go. Damp, moist, horrible, and yet lovely. Eased off for a bit, but now the final kilometre, 200 metres to climb. That's 20% average. Oh, that's nasty. And I'm out of water, so I've got to get up, get down, and find a shop very quickly. Absolutely killer. So steep. 27. Last 300 meters going on forever. Oh, thank God. It's eased to 20%. I thought I wasn't going to make it. So deep. Last 100 meters, even the dogs are walking faster than me. Just keeps on going. Never seen anything like it. Certainly a view. Coffee shop would be absolute killer. Begging some water from the monks. See how we get. Oh, Makasih. Oh, well, come in, lady. Not cold, but I've got a cold drink. I just need rehydrating. And fast. Oh, that kind lady bought me 2 bottles of water, completely free. I took a drink from the fridge in the shop and there's no one here, so I'll just leave some money for it. It's reassessment time. I've always said that the steepest short climb I've ever managed to get up without stopping is Qphin, Flight of the Gibbon in Thailand, and it is a beast. That, way worse, way worse. I really thought I was done at one point. My mind was screaming at me the usual, you can't do it, and I nearly fell for it. I nearly thought I can't do it, and then I was like, yeah, I can do it. And then just after that it eased a bit. Oh man, that is tough. Tougher than Flight of the Gibbon. No, obviously not quite as tough as my nemesis Avon V in Wales, which I can't get up, but of the ones I can get up, that is the killer. Well, I never thought when I set out this morning that I was going to come across a collection of the steepest climbs in the world, and one of the steepest climbs in the world. Fantastic. I have no desire to ever do that again. That was fantastic, yet horrific. Tomorrow we're back on the road, so that's the end of my Penang sojourn, my little break in the tour. Yeah, back on the road tomorrow. Which way are we going? You'll find out if you tune in next week, as will I, because I still haven't decided. Okay, see you all soon on today's ride.